Introduction. Online food ordering is the process of ordering food for delivery or pickup from a website or other application. The availability of e-commerce platforms as a shopping medium enables customers to shop conveniently, compare products and prices effectively, and arrange the delivery of the product immediately. In the restaurant context, the availability of online food technology enables customers to order the food through restaurant websites or via online food delivery services such as Eat24, GrabFood, and GoFood. Now, let's start with the background of the study. As for the topic, we chose Online Food Delivery Service, a thorough study on consumer satisfaction and loyalty among customers, which is students. Next is the research objectives. To study the satisfaction level of customers, students, and their loyalty towards online food delivery service. Now, let's move on with the problem statement. In this setting, many fast food brick-and-mortar locations are growing their internet presence to deal with technological disruption across all segments. Aggregators have given these online businesses the ability to better coordinate product demand and supply by using technological developments. Retaining consumers and hence income and market share is a big issue for these online merchants in a highly fragmented and competitive business. In multiple studies, customer satisfaction has been identified as a precursor to customer loyalty and is a viable answer to maintaining consumers in the face of numerous options and cheap switching costs. Previous study has demonstrated that customer satisfaction and brand loyalty have a beneficial impact on positive word-of-mouth, financial success, and even the possibility of CEOs obtaining bonuses. According to Tiwari and Verma 2008, fast food generates a major portion of income in industrialized nations, and similar development may be seen in certain emerging countries as people's dietary preferences change rapidly. Pricing of fast food services has been proven to be significant in earlier research in the offline medium setting, even more relevant than service quality in some circumstances. Previous study has thoroughly examined the impact of fast food consumptions on businesses and the economy. Delivery, payment, quality, customer service, and security are among the important elements contained in the model, many of which were not available in earlier models since they were confined to B&M fast food consumers. To the greatest degree feasible, all relevant constructs from prior research in the link field have been integrated in our study, and we have sought to bridge this gap through an exploratory investigation. The most critical element identified is quality, which is consistent with most past studies. The proposed study would be identify customer satisfaction, exploratory factor analysis, fast food and online food delivery, and students' perceptions regarding fast food via online food delivery services. Moving on to the research question. RQ1. Can an online food delivery service affect the satisfaction level of the customers? RO1. To study the relationship between food delivery service and customer satisfaction among students. Next, RQ2. Can online food delivery service bring loyalty upon customers? RO2. To investigate the relationship between online food delivery service and customers' loyalty. As for RQ3, will the condition of food delivered affect customer satisfaction? RO3. To recognize whether the condition of food delivered changes the satisfaction level of customers. RQ4. Will the speed of delivery affect customer satisfaction? RO4. To investigate the relationship between the speed of delivery service and the customer satisfaction. RQ5. Will the speed of delivery affect customer loyalty? RO5. To identify whether customer loyalty is affected by the speed of delivery service. RQ6. Will the price of delivery charge affect customer satisfaction? RO6. To identify the level of customer satisfaction upon changes in delivery charges price. RQ7. Will the delivery charges affect the customer loyalty. RO7, to investigate the relationship between customer loyalty and delivery charges price. And for the last one, RQ8, can the availability of online food delivery service affect customer satisfaction? RO8, to identify whether customer satisfaction can be influenced by the availability of online food delivery service delivery.
There are three significant limitations that we encountered when conducting the research, which is time constraint, sample size, and sample bias. The restriction of this is the first limitation that was encountered. The completion of this study is anticipated to take between 3 and 4 months. Since the study needs to be finished in 3 to 4 months, it brought an effect on the condition in which the anticipated number of response had been found. The second limitation is the small sample size, since the study was done solely with UiTM, Business and Management Department faculty members. Aside from that, we only accepted 150% as opposed to the whole faculty at UiTM, which has contributed to inaccuracy of the study in the area that were investigated. Lastly, the sample bias limitation. Since we distributed to our study questionnaire to only the Faculty of Business and Management at UiTM at PUNCAK, convenience sampling was our method of choice. It made it impossible to generalize the survey finding on the whole population. The finding will be biased due to the reason why some individuals choose to participate and others do not.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURUL binti ZASALI. Before that, I would like to inform to Dr. Lenora that I had a sore throat for weeks. As a result, to understand my word will be a little challenging. I apologize for this inconvenience. Alright, what is dependent variable? The dependent variable is the key player in experiment measuring behavior changes as the independent variable changes, like showcase your result. Second, customer loyalty is unwavering devotion to a brand, product or service demonstrating unmatched value and quality. This price position is highly valued by business. What is independent variable? Independent variable is a variable in an experiment that is controlled or altered in order to observe its effect on the dependent variable.
Let's move on to chapter 2. Number 1 is online food ordering. Online food ordering could be described as the internet's response to the desire for food delivery. It is a growing trend, particularly in urban areas and on college campuses, for customers to use their internet connection to order from restaurants with interactive menus. Some of the benefits of online food ordering include convenience, speed, accuracy, personalization, and various payment options.
What is food quality? Food quality refers to the attribute of food that determine its goodness and excellence, such as taste, freshness, and nutritional content. What is customer service? Customer service is assistance and support provided to our beloved customers.
Next is pricing. Pricing is a key factor to consider when using food delivery apps, as it can impact the overall cost and value of the service. Now, the delivery fee may vary based on the distance, time of the day, and other factors. Pricing can be an important factor for customers when choosing a food delivery app, as it can impact the overall cost of the service. Customers may consider the various fees and markups when comparing prices across different apps in order to determine the best value for their money. Moving on with availability. Availability, or the amount of time that a food delivery app is accessible to customers, is an important factor to consider when using these services. Some food delivery apps may only be accessible during specific hours or days of the week, whilst others may be accessible 24 hours in a week. Overall, availability is an important consideration when choosing a food delivery app, as it can impact the ease and convenience of placing an order.
We move to research hypothesis. The development of research hypothesis has been constructed as below. First, Hypothesis 1. There is a positive effect of food quality on customer satisfaction among students. Hypothesis 2. There is a positive effect of customer service on customer satisfaction among students. Hypothesis 3. There is a positive effect of pricing on customer satisfaction among students. Hypothesis 4. There is a positive effect of time on customer satisfaction among students. Hypothesis 5. There is a positive effect of delivery service on customer satisfaction among students. Last hypothesis, there is a positive effect on customer satisfaction on customer loyalty among students.
Now let's move on to the conceptual framework of our research. Starting from the left side of the page, we have the independent variables, which consist of 5 aspects, which are food quality under H1, customer service under H2, pricing under H3, time under H4, and delivery service under H5. And the middle part is the first dependent variable, which is customer satisfaction. It then leads to the last dependent variable, which is customer loyalty.
For the research design, we are use quantitative research. Quantitative research uses sampling technique and the distribution of digital survey, polls, and questionnaire to gather data from both current and potential customers. It is used to average out the data, make prediction, investigate correlation, and extrapolate finding to larger group. Quantitative research is the collection and examination of numerical data that can be represented numerically. Sampling design we are used for, firstly, target population. The primary focus on the research was on the perception held by undergraduate students about food delivery and their satisfaction with it. The next one, determination of size. A total of 150 students from UiTM Puncak Alam Selangor, Faculty of Business and Management participated in the research. The study was conducted with the aid of Google Form as allow us to collect information for a large sample of customers at a lower cost, and the survey take 5 to 10 minutes to get the respondent to complete it. Sampling frame, students from the Faculty of Business and Management UiTM Puncak Alam Selangor comprise our sampling frame for this study. A sampling frame is a list or sources that contain every individual of the entire population of interest and exclude anyone who is not a part of the target population. Using students from the Faculty of Business and Management as our sampling frame allows us to collect data that is comprehensive and accurate. For the sampling technique, we are using convenience sampling, which is non-probability, in which units are included in the sample because they are most accessible and accessible to the researcher. As respondent, we are selected based on their availability and willingness to participate. In other words, this is a sampling technique involve gathering individuals wherever they can be found, which is typical the most convenient collocation. And this study population consists of students from UiTM Puncak Alam Selangor.
Next, data collection. For this study, we employed the questionnaire method, which is a technique for collecting data via Google Form. A structured questionnaire was used to collect data, which was then used as a primary data to answer the research question and determine the effect that play a significant role in consumer perception of food delivery services. The dependent variable can be identified as consumer loyalty to food delivery services. Other independent variables will include food quality, customer service, pricing, availability, and speed. We collected primary data by having respondents fill out a Google form we provide. The standardized questionnaire therefore has 4 sections. After respondents complete the survey and click the submit button, the researcher will have immediate access to their responses through the Google Form online platform. The collected from the Google Form were then generated and analyzed using the SPSS to draw conclusion from the software generated figures. Moving on to the data analysis, SPSS is used to analyze collected data, which is one of the effective ways to analyze the research topic. First, conducted a descriptive analysis. The purpose is to quantitatively describe, investigate, and summarize the primary aspect of the gathered data. The program used to understand the descriptive analysis will determine the mean, minimum, maximum, and standard deviation from the collected data. Second, conducted reliability. The purpose is to determine whether the items used to evaluate the characteristic of the intended measures are stable and consistent. If the alpha is closer to 1, the consistency reliability will be higher. Third, Pearson correlation coefficient. It is used to investigate the relationship that already exists between two variable and quantitative data. Lastly, the regression analysis can determine the degree to which the two variables interact with one another and the amount of variance in the dependent variable that can be accounted for by the independent variable.
This certain type of statistical research utilize coded variable alongside the data is required. As a result, we change the text variable into numeric variable that have codes associated with them for the data coding. For example, we use SPSS to convert all the equations from section A and B into numerical variables. Which is for the male we use 1, for the female we use 2. According to the data presented, the percentage of missing data is 3, where the X value cannot be more than 10% of the total. According to the findings of the research that we conducted, only 2% were missing from the data. As a result, we determined that it will be best not to delete the data because the X value does not exceed 10%, indicating that it will not have any effect on the data. This is all the result of the normality test. All the plots appear to be converging toward the straight line as indicated by the table. As a consequence of this, we came to conclusion that the normality for all the factors had been attained because it seems to be fairly straight, at least when the few extreme values in either direction were disregarded. According to the result, the VIF for food quality, customer service, pricing, availability, and speeds are 2.3, 2.6, 2.1, 1.9, and 2.6. As a result, we discovered that there is some correlation and that prediction are moderately correlated with one another. The respondent profile, 147 out of the total 150 respondents answer our questionnaire. The number of expected respondents that we are researching for 150 and are currently missing 3 respondents across the demographic of gender, age, course code, and semester. According to the finding of the gender profile, the majority of respondents were female. There were 108 female respondents, which is equivalent to 72% of the total, and there were 39 male respondents, which is equivalent to 26% of the total. According to the result of the age profile, the majority of our respondents were between the age of 18 to 24 years old, which is equivalent to 82.7% of the total, followed by those between age of 25 to 30 years old, which is equivalent to 14% of the total, and those over the age of 31 is 1.3% of the total. In the course code of our respondents, we discovered that the vast majority of our respondents come from the course codes BA240 and 242, which together account for 60% of all our respondents. According to the data collected by semester, the majority of our respondents are from 5th semester, which is 33.3%, followed by the 3rd semester 21.3%, and the 4th semester 16%, and the 2nd semester is 6%, and the 1st semester 2.7%. Data collected for smartphone user is displayed in the figure that can be found above, and it demonstrates a frequency of 150, which is 100% for the answer is yes. Are aware of the existing of the application for food delivery. It it is displayed in the figure that can be found, which is the figure shows that the frequency of yes is 99.3% and no 0.7%, and there is no missing data. Figure shows frequency of yes is 98% and no for 2%. The majority of respondents use the Food Panda application, which has a percentage of 41.3%, and this is followed by GrabFood, which has a percentage of 36.7%, and Shopee Food, which has a percentage of 80%, and others, which has a percentage of 2%. And 3 data pieces are missing, accounts for 2% of the totals. It was discovered that the vast majority of respondents use the application less than once per day, which is 60.7%, followed by once per day 24%, and twice per day 12%, and the less than 3 times per day is 1.3%, with 3 missing data equivalent to 2%. The data presented demonstrate the food delivery application is effective in comparison to purchasing food offline, with the majority of respondents selecting yes for 81.3% and no for 16.7%, and 3 missing data equivalent to 2%. Previous descriptive analysis, the dependent variable of customer loyalty, which leads to customer service, have the greatest mean value of 3.9578, which indicated that the majority of respondents agree with the statement made in the survey that a positive impact on their customer loyalty can be attributed to a positive customer services. As a consequence of this, the majority of respondents believe that the customer service is most important variable to companies, whereas the mean value for pricing is the lowest. The suggestion that the majority of respondents disagree with the statement that their loyalty on using food delivery application will decrease if the price of the services are expensive or cheap, which was made in the questionnaire. The table showed that the variable of food quality of food delivery have the highest standard deviation, which indicated that the data points are spread out over a large range of value, which made it less reliable when the data is widely spread, while the variable of customer services have the lowest standard deviation, which indicated that the data points are very close to the mean, which make it more reliable when the data is clustered closely. And the table also shows that the variable of customer services have the lowest standard deviation.
For reliability test, the table shows that all the alpha is greater than 0.7, which indicates that the question can be trusted as an accurate representation of the data. As a result, the reliability of the question is directly proportional to the value obtained for alpha statistics. For validity test, the graphic shows that the elements that have the strongest link with one another are customer service and speed, with a value of 0.7 to 1. On the other hand, according to the variable with the weakest link are availability and pricing, with a Pearson correlation value of 0.499. For the model summary, the value of R squared is 0.539. Therefore, it is clearly concluded that about 54% of total variation is independent variable. Meanwhile, the other 46% is explained by other factors or variable. According to the ANOVA result, there is a statistically significant relationship between the independent variable. This is evident by the fact that the p-value reveals a value of 0.000, which is a less than alpha level. It indicates that at least one of the independent variable had a significant relationship with the dependent variable. In overview, the result shows that the p-value for food quality, customer service, and speed is more than a significant level of 0.05, indicating that the three of these independent variables have a significant relationship towards purchase intention among UiTM students. Hence, the null hypothesis is true. Meanwhile, P-value for pricing and availability are much less than the significant level, which indicates that the null hypothesis is false and should be rejected.
Moving on to the discussion. This study's findings indicate an intriguing relationship between the quality of food delivery service and the level of student customer satisfaction. This relationship is a complex and multidimensional, involving a variety of variables such as food quality, customer service, cost, availability of periods, delivery speed, and customer loyalty. In conclusion, the data demonstrates that customer loyalty is an important predictor of consumer satisfaction. This demonstrates the need of fostering customer loyalty to secure repeat business and a high level of customer satisfaction among existing consumers. The study indicates that there is a complex and multifaceted relationship between the quality of the meal delivery service and the level of customer satisfaction among students. Taking into account the plethora of factors that contribute to ultimate customer satisfaction, food delivery firms can strive to create an experience for their customers that is not just satisfying but also memorable.
As for the recommendation, an acceptable amount of time has to be set aside for the collection and analysis of data. It is generally accepted that larger samples more accurately represent the population being researched. For the majority of research projects, it is recommended that there will be at least 30 participants in the sample size in order to maximize validity. The size of the sample is quite important to the overall information search. Therefore, you should consider it very seriously. Results that are accurate, valid, and dependable can be achieved through the use of large sample sizes. Sampling bias must be resisted with effort because it undermines the accuracy, validity, and dependability of the results.
In conclusion, the level of satisfaction that is experienced by customers of fast food delivery who order online is greatly influenced by a multitude of factors, some of which include the quality of food, the level of customer service that is provided, the pricing, the amount of time that is made available, the rate at which the food is delivered, and the level of customer loyalty. Students at UiTM Puncak Alam have reported significant increases in their levels of satisfaction after the introduction of online food delivery services. In other words, the convenience of online food delivery for students is a game changer for the sector, but businesses have a lot of work to do to keep students returning.